brings us to chapter 27, which is Into the Maze. Devlin kicks things off and pulls up his rock aura, which creates a sandstorm and is driving the whole town of New Nora back inside. The group does have a trinket with them that causes the winds to avoid them, so they have this little bubble of protection that they can use to make their way into the town and then venture down into the grotto. Once they get there, Vethica says that she essentially wants to go through the maze on her own first, because that way she will have completed the trial of worth and there's no questioning whether she's truly deserving of bonding. So she's going to go ahead, and then the group is going to follow behind her and complete the trial and the challenges on their own as well, just making sure they don't interfere with her.
I love that Moonbeam is kind of like, hey, look, do not touch anything. So touch nothing except for the lamp.
Very, very specific instructions. Once they get into the maze, it does branch into 7 paths, and they do hear kind of this constant sound of the maze actually shifting. So this really reminded me of the Maze Runner, where every day the maze is shifting a little bit, and they're trying to map their way and make it through the maze, in time and following the correct path for that day.
I love that you thought of that, because as soon as you said that, I was like, oh my gosh, this is the Maze Runner.
It feels like it. It was someone stole from someone there. I'm sure there's been no other labyrinth throughout history. Just those 2 series use it.
Right.
Fain actually brings up as they're going through it that he wants to try it with no magic, so essentially without using any special Arcanist abilities, just to see would they be able to pass it.
Because why would we want to make things too easy to do this?
I know, it seems like something you don't want to make unnecessarily hard. Like, people get injured through this trial. Like, we're just going to put ourselves through that extra ordeal. They are lucky because Adelgis is able to keep tabs on Vethica, so he can pretty much tell once she's completed a trial and moved on to the next room. So they're able to, as soon as she completes something, go into that chamber and attempt it on their own. And the first trial they come through is jumping over the spiked pit, and there's kind of a little platform in the middle that you can step on and before making the final jump. And one thing that Adelgis does bring up is that the trials are meant to be both mental and physical, representing the duality of the Khepra. So for every trial they go through, there should be a way to achieve it physically, as well as kind of a mental path that you could take as well to get past it. When they go and actually kind of take the first look at this platform in the middle, they notice that it falls as soon as it's touched. So as soon as something lands on it, it falls away and kind of disappears into the void.
I would imagine standing there thinking, oh crap. Because I think Carno went first and it fell into the pit. Like, wait a minute, but how did Vethica get across? Like, oh my gosh, like this is only a one-shot thing.
Yeah, you get one chance at it. And one of the cool things about it, we see Carney go first, we see Vethica had gone to the room before. Khepra had this power of restoration, and that impacts the maze as well. So pretty much anything in the maze that is, destroyed or impacted in any way will return to its initial state after a period of time. So very cool way that, they're able to go through these challenges right after Vethica and still have the full challenge to go through. So the group ends up going, and they kind of are all jumping across, and finally they get to Adelgis, and he says, there's got to be a mental way to figure this out, and finds the tiniest little ledge that goes across the side wall and inches his way across.
So they get across, and they're talking, and Felicity is brought out of the light, because Adelgis wants her to be able to see everything too, since they're doing this as mortals, and Felicity's just sitting there like stroking his hair or playing with his hair.
It's a weird image, just this little like floating seashell just rubbing along.
I wonder if he just like stop it, Mom, stop playing with my hair.
Eric, Scott, and I want to thank everyone for listening today. We post a new episode every Wednesday morning at 11 Eastern, 10 Central, and 8 Pacific Standard Time. We are on all podcasting platforms and are also on YouTube as well for video. After the additional episode airs, we post chapter-by-chapter videos every day in a smaller, easier-to-digest format. We do want to give a special shout-out to the final member of our team, Dan Mackison, one of the admins for the Frith Chronicles Wiki, link listed below, and doing his best to keep everything running smoothly behind the scenes. If you want to reach out to us, you could email us at frithguildpod@gmail.com or on Facebook or any other social media by searching for Frith Guild Podcast. Just to remind everybody, we have links to everything in the description below on both the podcast and YouTube. Scott, do you have anything else you want to add this week?
Just a plug for live stream coming up, tabletop game.
Whoop whoop. That will be coming up, so we'll have that posted, I believe, at the end of this book, and so that way, if you don't get a chance to sit in the live stream, you will be able to see it later on. All right, well, thanks everybody, and see you next week.